Hi, everyone, and welcome. Eagles insider Dave Spadaro along with the Hall of Famer Brian Westbrook. We are self-scouting the Philadelphia Eagles, presented by Golden Nugget Jewelers. Eagles losing on Sunday to the Minnesota Vikings 23-21, Brian. And we're here to talk about an offense that, again, struggles against a Vikings defense that came into the game ranked way down in points allowed, yards allowed, third down conversions, without Everson Griffin, their defensive end, without Trey Waynes, their cornerback, and the Eagles put up 21 points. What is happening with this offense?
Well, I think we lack an awful lot of confidence. Our offense was predicated on the quarterback having confidence that he was going to get the blocking, our ability to run the football, and receivers catching the football. And right now, we have none of those things going for us. We have to improve an awful lot, Dave, to get back to a position where we were last year.
You know, it really started on Sunday right away. First possession, Isaac Seumalo gives up a sack on 3rd and 7. But even before that, Carson was getting hit. And I know that teams are running their stunts and their twists and all, but it's a lot of one-on-one losses up front, too.
Yeah, you know, as a team, offensive line, we start there. They have to do a much better job of communicating with each other, but also they have to do a better job of winning their one-on-one matchup. Too many times there's pressure in the quarterback's face. Too many times there's pressure on the edge, and that changes the way, if you're a quarterback, the way that you look at the game. That changes your ability to sit in the pocket and throw the ball downfield. And I'll tell you as well, it changes the way, as an offensive coordinator, you call the plays. Now you don't have the confidence to throw the ball deep because you're getting your quarterback hit too many times. Yesterday, 11 hits on the quarterback is way too many.
Let's talk about some specifics of the offense. Second possession, 3rd and 1. Now, this is a situation in the past where a quarterback sneak suffices and has been very successful. In this instance, the Eagles trying to get creative here, saw something on film. The pitch out to Josh Adams, sniffed out by the Vikings. Your thoughts on that call and the execution?
Well, when you bring Josh Adams in the game, a bigger back, you're thinking downhill football, allow this offensive line, who's been dominant in different situations, to get behind their pads and get some push up front against the Vikings defensive front that has allowed some yards in the running game. Then you get Josh Adams on the pitch out. He's not a quick guy. He's not a fast guy. He's more of a downhill type of player. To me, that just isn't the right play at the right time. Now, why this team was so successful last year is because Doug had a great feel of the game plan, a great feel of the players, and the time to call different plays. This year, it seems to be a little bit off. In that situation, I would have had Josh Adams going downhill, try to get a 1 yarder that way.
Second quarter, Eagles in the Vikings red zone, 3rd down. On the sideline, Wendell Smallwood wide open. Carson Wentz gets the ball to him. Smallwood drops the football. These are mistakes that are killing the Eagles.
Over and over, week after week, drop footballs, bad routes, no protection. These are the small things that in the NFL, where teams will be coming after the Super Bowl champion week after week, that you can't make. The margin for error for this football team right now is so small, and we're making so many mistakes, we're not allowing ourselves a chance to win, and that's where we're missing the games.
Third quarter, Eagles trailing 17-3. They get the football first. They go down the field running the football. Nice run, Wendell Smallwood. Couple of nice Jay Ajayi runs, mix in the throwing game. Eagles get to the 6-yard line, and Jay Ajayi fumbles the football, and it just slipped out of his very wet arm. It was nothing other than him just not being secure with the football.
Again, attention to detail, catching the football, blocking, holding on to the ball, communication. These are the small things. The margin of error, again, is very, very small. We run the ball all the way down the field, did a great job of blocking, running, getting yards after first contact, but then you fumble going into the end zone. That's the small things that we can't allow to happen. It has happened in this game, in the games, the first few games of the season as well. That's why we're not winning these football games.
Eagles 1 of 4 on Sunday in the red zone. Finally, Brian, the Eagles in the game in the fourth quarter, remarkably in the game, and the Eagles pounce on a fumble, 30-yard line of the Vikings, 1st down. This is a game and a moment where the Eagles take over the game. 1st and 10 at the Vikings 30. Instead of going toward the goal line, the Eagles back up. False starter, illegal formation, first play. Carson Wentz penalized for intentional grounding, throwing the football, just unsuccessful doing that. Brian, that to me plays back to confidence. The Eagles didn't have an offensive, they didn't have the offensive swagger at that point. And that's what we've seen in the past.
In the past, you're seeing confidence from the quarterback position, play caller, offensive line, every position on the field. Right now, we don't have that same type of confidence. How do we get back to that? It starts on the practice field. Unfortunately, this week we're playing on a short week. We're playing on Thursday, and so you're not going to have that practice time. But this team, and this is where it starts in training camp. It starts in the mini camps. They need opportunities to play together. Unfortunately, we had so many guys injured throughout the training camp and preseason that guys never had a chance to gain that confidence together, that continuity that good teams have. And now we have to try to find that during the season. It's oftentimes hard to do that.
And the Eagles committing 6 penalties on offense, 3 false starts. This is unacceptable. This is inexcusable.
Too many mistakes. Too many mistakes. A veteran-led football team doesn't make these types of mistakes. And when you listen to the guys' comments after the game, they're all talking about mistakes. They're all talking about things that we can't do. These are the small things. The small things matter, and right now we're not paying attention close enough to the details of the game.
I want to reach inside and say, how do you fix it, Brian? How do you fix it?
Yeah, I mean, you have to stop making mistakes and all these other things. And so how do you fix it? Everybody has to be completely honest with themselves and say, okay, I know someone else made a lot of different mistakes and different errors, but what did I do wrong? How can I do better myself? And then once I correct myself, now how can I help my neighbor to do a little bit better? And right now, we can't focus on our neighbor because ourselves individually, we haven't done very well.
Finally, here's a number. This is an interesting statistic. Without that Shelton Gibson 48-yard reception from Carson Wentz, the wide receivers were targeted 11 times, 5 completions, 59 yards. That's a 10-yard per catch average. That is just not good enough to the wide receivers.
The explosive play in this offense is not there. Offensively, our wide receivers are not a threat downfield. That means defenses can stack the box. They can do whatever they want because they're not threatened by our receivers. When this offense was clicking, we were getting the shot plays down the field. We were getting the 20-yard outs. We were getting balls across the middle of the field, big chunk plays. Right now, we don't have that ability. We have to find that rhythm. That's going to be the quarterback, offensive line with the blocking, but also our receivers on the outside being able to get open. We have to find a happy medium there at some point. Right now, we just don't have that.
Your thoughts on the run-pass ratio, which has not been very balanced the last couple of weeks here?
We have to be able to have an identity. And I think a lot of times last year when we were winning big, we started by moving the ball with the run, allowing our running backs to move the ball down the field. I think a part of it is the health. Corey Clement didn't play this week. Jay Ajayi still has some injuries there. You don't know how much you're going to give to a rookie in Josh Adams. So I think as a play caller, Doug is saying, well, I'm not sure that the running backs can handle 20, 25 carries per game. We're not going to give them as many reps. I think if you're a play caller, you're saying, let's go back to basics. Let's go back to pushing the line of scrimmage. Let's get some positive yards. Let's make third down a lot easier for our football team. Yesterday on third down, they were 22%, 2 of 9. That's not going to be good enough to establish a winning culture inside of your offense, and right now they're not doing that.
Well, the Eagles have to turn it around quickly. We're talking hours, not days, before the Eagles go to MetLife Stadium and play the New York Giants on Thursday night. That's our Self-Scout presented by Golden Nugget Jewelers. For Brian Westbrook, I'm Dave Spadaro. Thanks for joining us.